All right. My name's First Sergeant Popp, retired, and I'll be giving you this VD briefing for the day. This might be a little shocking. I don't care about your feelings. I only care that you don't get goddamn infected by the 304s walking around out there in current year, because they're giving that shit away like candy, and some of that candy will rot your ass out or something worse. So let us begin. The human race comes in two models, the male and the female. There isn't 160 some odd genders. None of that. You get two, that's it. You got the Peg D model. All right. It comes with the slot A, the slot B, and a Peg D. All right. The Peg D works from hydraulics, and it's designed to invade the slot C. Now, this is the slot C model. You can see she's got a set of dials and pegs, and she also comes with the slot B and slot C. Now, when you're going to upgrade and interact with said peg slots and dials and pegs, you need to be careful. Wear a condom so you don't get any of the nasties directly on your skin. If you are an unfortunate herding unit who selected a overly dirty woman, you can expect to have a burning ring of fire, and I'll explain that phenomena to you later on in this briefing. All right, now the activities here that you should probably stay away from is slot A to slot B. That's a big no. Now, people will call that, mouth to ass. Not really a fan. It's kind of nasty. No, it is nasty. All right, then you got D to A, Peg D to slot A. It's, some mouth hug with a head bob. It is what it is. Yeah. Then you got Peg D to slot B. It's gay. All right. Now I'm not talking about the 2 times a year where you're out with your woman getting drunk or whatever, and she turns around and says, "Put it in my butt." Okay, because that's an alcohol-related incident upon request. Got it. But if you are into this, well, there you go. All right, then you have slot C to slot A. That's situational dependent. All right, some women don't like it. If, you're going to town on the slot C and you come up to, give some tongue intrusions to the slot A. Some women don't like that, and I totally get it. All right, now you have to be careful because here is some of the stuff you can get. Now, I didn't put hepatitis C on there. I should, but technically it's not really a venereal disease. It's a standard disease that is one mode of transmission. All right, first on the list is vaginosis. That's basically she's got to wash her shit. She's doing something bad. Things are rotten in there. The chemistry's off. It smells to high heaven. And if you mess around with that, you're having a desperate night or you need a slump buster, that is the main culprit for the burning ring of fire. Next, you have yeast infections. All right, now, people are like, yeast infections. Guys don't get yeast infections. Normally, you would be correct. But it does happen, especially if you're hitting nasty vaginosis, slot C, that's contaminated. All right. And to treat this, you need another type of antibiotic, which works on fungus. It's an antifungal. It's extremely harsh on your liver and kidneys. So keep that in mind. Next one here, lice. All right. In the grand scheme of things, this is like just a moderate annoyance. Basically, you wash your clothes, wash your shit, get the special shampoo, wash it out, you're fine. How do I know this? Well, in the Army, if one person in the barracks comes up hot for body lice, head lice, or crotch lice, everyone on the floor has got to get treated for it. And I missed probably a good half a dozen weekends because, somebody was dick thinking in my platoon and decided to bring that nastiness back to the barracks. It's not a good thing. All right, next we have chlamydia. You can treat that with antibiotics. I call chlamydia gonorrhea light. And then you have gonorrhea, which is also, it's one step worse than chlamydia, and it's treatable with antibiotics. Next, you have syphilis, which I call gonorrhea squared, because that shit will kill you if you don't treat it and it goes on long enough. Even if if you don't catch it right away and you actually can treat it down the road, it gets very, very difficult because that stuff gets into your nerves, your spinal fluid. I believe it can cross the blood-brain barrier, and it is an absolute nightmare to treat if you don't get it up front. All right. After that, we have AIDS. All right. Now, you heard the list of guys who have AIDS for whatever reason. Musicians and porn stars, they're neck and neck for the finish line on this one. And there's no cure for that. They give you pills that lower the viral load, but it doesn't bring it to zero. And they're very exceptionally harsh on your liver and kidneys. And I believe they will destroy your pancreas as well. Next, you have the herpes, which is just those annoying bumps. Now there's lots of people who have herpes simplex 1, which is on your lips. And then you have the unlucky people who have herpes simplex 2, which is down below. Now, if you have it on your lips and it's 1 and you take it down to the slot C, she can wind up with it on, the herpal HIV on her downstairs chewed up bubble gum. So I can't advise it. Finally, you have warts. They're incredibly deadly. Well, I shouldn't say they're deadly, not right away. If you have this, there's really no cure for it. They say there's a vaccine. I don't know if it actually works across the various strains that you have going on here, because there's quite a few. Some of them are exceptionally bad, and if you're unlucky to get one of those, the only treatment for it is to burn them off or cut them out. That's it. All right. Now, while you're conducting your upgrades or your pegs to slot assignments, you got to watch out for slipping one by the goalie. See, this model of human here, from the ages of 16 to 28, there's only 3 people on the ice playing the game. The 2 defensemen, they're in the penalty box serving major penalties. So it's a 5-on-3 game all day long. Hell, even the goalie could score from across the net. That's how easy it is. So you got to wrap your tool. Don't be a fool, because you'll be on the hook for 18 to 21 years of child support, depending upon what state you're living in. Next, you got gunt interference. All right, now you see you have gunt interference and FUPA, FUPA. All right, now gut interference is, that mound of gelatinous fat that hangs above the slot C, and you're going to have to hold that up with your forehead while you're doing your stuff down there, because it's getting in the way. So thus the interference. You have the FUPA, which is a fat upper pussy area or a fat upper belly area. And that one, that's more extreme. You actually have to hold that up. All right. I don't recommend it, but that's how that works. Okay. Next, you have the upstairs slingshot maneuver. This is when the woman exposes her dials and pegs, and they're literally rolled up like old beagle ears or a beat up tobacco purse, and they almost flop all the way to the floor. You don't need that. I call that the pseudopod attack. Not a good thing. And then some of those guys who like to mess with women who are too big, some of those guys wind up with, where do I put my dick fat? She's so fat, you don't even know what's going on. And there's so many slots and folds. It is what it is. Now, when I talk about the slot A, it stands for an acronym, which is assisted super stupid. All right. Nobody will know you're stupid until you run your slot A. And then it becomes painfully obvious to everyone within earshot. Then you have the slot B, which is back under taint. This is an exit only. Do not abuse it, because when you get older, things fall off. Prolapsed anus, anal fissure, hemorrhoids, anal cancer, which is probably one of the worst ones to get. The only thing that would come close to that is dick cancer and eye cancer. Not pretty. All right. Next to C for the slot C, I call it the Bermuda Triangle because whatever this portion of the human race can do, this one has a habit of this little slot right here destroying lives, taking all your money, putting you in prison, taking your kids, and quite literally what goes in there not coming out. It's the Bermuda Triangle. Whole lives and fortunes have been lost in there, never to be seen again. All right, so this is a remake of the first video I did, which was called Popular Mechanics. This is very close to the VD briefing that I used to give once a year to my guys. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed it. I try to put a positive spin on it because nobody wants to hear about junk rotting and falling off. It's just not a good subject.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Popp for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.